What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classic Climb blog. Come on in today. Hey, drop a like in here. Drop a what's up or hi or your city or state because it helps us plan events, baby. How can we plan events if we don't know where y'all at? Help me out. Help me out. I've got to do this one. Now, there's 3 examples. I'm probably going to repeat myself again because, people come in late to the chat to stream. But there's 3 examples of where it's evident you're wasting your time. There was a video I did a couple years ago, and the girl paid off like $300,000 in student loan debt. And I mean, the internet lambasted her. I interviewed her on the channel. She's in one of the Classic Climb interviews, and I'll see if I can find it and put it into the thing. And sure enough, people were like, well, she got help. She got this, she got that. Now, when you pull the rug off of the story, the woman actually lived with her grandparents, took care of them, walked them out of work every day for like 2 years. Her mom got a little townhouse at a auction, and it was $6,000, and they put a little bit of repair in it, and they were renting it out. And this is all happening in Illinois, Northern Joliet, Illinois, or whatever, Joliet, Illinois. And people were like, oh, she's a well-to-do, da-da-da. And then when people found out she was black, they were even more angry, right? Because they had assumed the white privilege of this girl, mother helping her get a job at a nonprofit, and then her mother helping her get a auction property, even though they had ignored the whole backstory that the girl and her husband had been walking to work, out of work. Joliet. Okay, thank you, Ben the bartender. Had been walking them out of work and taking care of her grandparents, sick grandparents. People were like, ah, and then they found out she was black, and they were like, ah, right? And it was funny because it is evident. And instead of like listening to the story, seeing where someone paid off $300,000 in student loan debt from working hard, that can't be the answer. There's no way that's the true answer of how this girl got free. They couldn't take it. They about lost their minds. And I had her on my channel, and I'm gonna share it in the comments, the commentary after this show's over, of old girl's interview I did with her. Now, so then another article just came out, and people don't read. This is evident that people do not read because they said in the first paragraph. That's how you know they don't read. They read the headline and go crazy. This guy's 24 years old. He's making $250,000 a year. He works 3 jobs. And he's Hispanic. Okay? He's out of Illinois as well. And the first thing is people are like, they're going crazy. But if you open up the link, you actually just click on the link and you read the first paragraph. It says he works as a lineman. Now, I don't know if you know what linemen are, but they're the guys who do all the line work, poles, thunderstorm comes, they have to do that. And they get paid very well to do that job. And his other 2, for clarification, are he owns a lawn care company. So he's not out there doing all the lawn care stuff. He has a whole team of people cutting grasses. He has a whole team of people helping him shovel snow in up North Illinois. And guess what? People didn't read that. All people read was he got 3 jobs and he looked Hispanic. And all they kept saying is he's going to be dead by 40. He's going to be dead. He's going to have a heart attack. Sorry, y'all gonna hear it for a second, the GPS. And instead of actually clicking, it's the first y'all, this is how lazy people are. It's the first paragraph says his first job as a lineman pays him almost $200,000 a year. Sorry about the GPS. Y'all have to deal with it for 2 more seconds. It'll be quiet after that. And his first job, his main job as a lineman, he dropped out of college, and it pays him almost $200,000 a year. So if he didn't want to work any other job, he did not have to. And he's young. He's only like 24. And people are just hating. I mean, they about to just vomit in the comments. Like, it went viral, and you know what they do. They when it went viral, all these people had to make comments. They had to make comments that were negative. And they were just losing it. They were losing their mind. They could not take it. The thought of this guy making $250,000 a year was like, that's terrible. And what I realize is People will see an answer clear as day in their face, that they are going to have some hard work to get out of their situation. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear the shortcuts. They want to hear the credit cards. They want to hear, give me some buzzwords, right? And people were so upset. They were so upset. Third example, if I can remember correctly before I tell you it. Sorry, I'm being nosy over here. Third example is there's a girl named Asia Selden. I follow her. She owns, I don't know if it's Edward Jones or one of these type of companies. I cannot lie. I don't know her, but she never says which company, but she owns a franchise. But she's been a stockbroker since right out of college. Got 2 degrees out of university in Philadelphia. Been a stockbroker her whole adult life. And started a financial advisement company, right? A franchise, bought a franchise. So it's probably Edward Jones, but we don't know for certain. And so she's been buying cash properties in Philly when they were worth $30,000, $5,000 at auction. You know, these places where people be like, oh, I'd never buy over in the hood. So she'll be buying them for $25,000, $30,000. Some of them are shells, some are not. So as she makes money in the stock market, she would take that money over there and clean up the properties, fix the houses, make them look better, rent them out. Now, people come up to her every day of the week on Instagram and say, well, it's evident, and that's why I used it in the title, it's evident you got some kind of windfall. Like this girl who was born to a single mother with siblings, didn't go to college, get 2 majors, become a stockbroker, work her ass off, and invest all her dough. This is America now, where people are trying to figure out a way that you got a shortcut so your win is not a win, and that's bullshit. If you're winning, it's because you put in the win. Now, many people say, well, look at Donald Trump's children. Look at these people's children. I don't care. I don't care about all that. When you're sitting here trying to pick apart, my phone might, hopefully it won't die on me. It's so hot. This window is so freaking hot. When you're picking apart people's wins like that, all that says to me is you're not winning. That's the only reason you would be even interested in doing something to that nature. Why would anybody want to do something like that? They're not winning. They're spending their whole time trying to pick apart another person's win. And that's why I'm doing a whole volume 2 to the Smartphone Millionaire book. Gonna add all these pages, all this information, because people act like, well, Erica, there must be something. There must be something you're hiding from us that you're not telling us. And it's like, no. Right now, I'm driving to San Antonio right now to go look at this freaking truck. It actually takes some of your own elbow grease. People think I'm going to get OPM. What's up, you guys? Holy moly, the phone said it was getting too hot. Said it was getting too hot, y'all. Anyway, what's up, you guys? Sorry. Anyway, so I'm back. Hopefully, we'll be back for a good minute. So listen. Exactly. So there's a thing. There's a thing. I did a video on it. I was talking about when you have real estate. There's 2 ways with real estate. You're either creating wealth or you're preserving wealth. And so Aisha is a prime example of someone who's preserving wealth. So they're making money in the stock market, and instead of getting all their money, yeah, it's crazy. The phone was getting too hot. I don't know why it's tripping. I got the air vents focused on and everything now. So the thing of it is, yes, she manages wealth funds, but before that, she was a stockbroker. So, you know what I mean? And she even tells you how she bought one stock, and years later to this day, it was the best investment she ever had. It was some tech stock and it blew up. Okay, right? So when I talk about real estate, there's 2 ways. There's preserving wealth or creating wealth. What is preserving wealth? Where else are you going to get 20% returns on your money? You're not going to get that in the bank. You'll get that by buying a $30,000 Philadelphia property. Slowly, or whenever you take your time to clean it up and fix it, you do. And then guess what? It rents out for $1,300 or whatever a month for eternity, right? You're preserving wealth. You're getting returns on the money you put into it. So it took you $30,000 to buy it, probably take you $100,000 to fix it up. I don't know how much. I'm not in the Philly market, but you're not gonna do no cheap. She ended up getting buildings that are really bad. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate it. And so she's preserving wealth via that way. Now, when I talk about creating wealth via real estate, a lot of times you're thinking of wholesalers, you're thinking of flippers, you're thinking of different things. Right now, the property I'm trying to acquire in Houston, The guy won't let it go unless you see who it is. Now, what does that mean? You want to see if it's a this person. It's a this color person, okay? Right? Because at the end of the day, they see people coming into Houston, buying up Houston that don't look like them. And that's his right. He don't have to sell me that property if you don't feel comfortable that I'm going to do long-term hold on it. I'm like, dude, all I'm doing is using group investing to buy this property, and we're going to hold forever, as long as possible. And the problem with a lot of people is they assume you got some magical head start. And so that absolves them from having to work harder. And it does not absolve them of anything. They don't get they don't get some kind of skip because they don't have to work hard. Now, prime example, somebody over, we're not gonna name no names, they spend all this time talking about how they're hooking up with other women outside their wife, but their home doesn't look great. Their business, they don't want to have a business. So I go, what are you doing with all your money? I'm trying to build a legacy here. Well, there is no legacy if all your time and resources are spent chasing other women and not building something of long-term value for your family. Period. That's just period. Right? And I did the example the other day, and people kind of got mad with me, and that's okay, where I was talking about the 3 different guys, how the white guy bought land, the other guy bought a warehouse, and the black guy, they're like, he got a business, Erica. He got a business too, and a gym. And like, y'all in here whining when you know for a fact there's not just him. It's another black guy. When he started making money off YouTube, he left his hometown, he left his clients, and moved to LA so he can live the glamorous life. He wants to be a celebrity trainer. And common sense would say to me, you can be a giant big thing here in the town you're in by investing in the land where you are, but now you're going to take your money and go live in LA where you're not going to be the big fish. You're going to be a smaller fish in a big city. And that's just is what it is, right? People don't really want to hear that, or hear where they've made a mistake, or let someone tell them, hey, you should be investing in land. You should be investing in housing. You should be investing in this or that. Because it's evident to them that, no, you've got some kind of head start. So I don't, whatever I do with my money, I do with my money. Even on my Instagram, I put a thing up about, someone said about churches, churches should have financial literacy because, but they don't do it because if you had 10%, that 10% to the church would look stupid. No, it wouldn't. Every program out there, every financial program out there, almost 99.9% of them have a 10% slot allotted for what? Charity? No, that has nothing to do with that. If 10% to your if you have enough common sense to know how to take out 10% and give to your pastor, you should have enough common sense in your head to put 10% in your own pocket, right? Because really, truthfully, you're not supposed to be living on 100% of your money. You're supposed to be living on 70% of your money. And that's budget 101. Right? So if 10%, let's say you make $3,000 a month, 10% go to your church, that's $300. Another 10% would be $300 more dollars, should go to where? Your investments. Then the rest of your money, if you have to live on rent and food out of every 100% of all you make, something's wrong with your budget. You don't make enough money, or there's a problem with your budget. And that's what wears me out about these people on the internet trying to tell you, oh, they must have got some windfall. Even if they did, they still had to manage it. And that doesn't save you from having to have to do hard work. You also too have to do hard work. Like, where do you think you pointing out that somebody else is winning makes you look better? It doesn't. It doesn't. That's why I can't get on, when Killer Mike was up there talking about capitalism and owning stuff, which was the right direction. 7 years after slavery, all these black people own millions of acres of land. All that was important. But then he started going tone talks with Yvette Carnell. You can't put people who are socialists beside a capitalist thing that will not work. You should watch them too. Why should they watch them? If you just told them that they need to start owning things, you're going to send them over to somebody's channel that says, it's all over. America has failed. You'll never be good. You'll always be poor. It's not even worth it. That is not congruent. Those don't go together. Every single group of people that's come to America, it is a capitalist society, has come here and realized, I better own some stuff. I better invest in some things. I better own some land. I better own something. And I remember talking to this one lady, and I said, well, when are you going to invest in this? And I think I was talking to her about investing in the city she lived in. Well, I don't know. I might move, I might move. And I said, well, how long you been talking about moving? About 15 years. So for 15 years, you've been talking about possibly moving back to Georgia. But you've been living in Texas all this time. And Texas done went from boom to bust, broke. Like you could get a house for $80,000. Now you can't get a house for less than $400,000 where she particularly lived. And it's like, people love telling you that their possibility they might move. So what? Even if you buy a house and 3 years from now you move. So what? You sell the house you got and then you move. People are trying to rationalize not taking any action as a win, and it's not. I remember there's a poster you can find on the internet, and it had 4 pencils. And 4 pencils. And 2 of the pencils were rubbed down to almost to the nub. The other 2 pencils were sharp as can be. And it said, you can look great when you're not doing anything. And again, it's been paraphrased, the meme's been changed a couple different times, but overall, it basically, you can look great when you ain't doing nothing. That's the kind of society we lived in. I remember this guy tried to tell me when he sees fit girls, he knows their life must be in order. I said, honey, have you been on Instagram? You know how many women are super fit and their house is a mess and they live with their parents and they have no money and all they have is a free time to go to the gym every day? If that's your tester of someone having a successful life, you're about to be in a heck of a surprise for the next couple years. You know how many men are super fit, ain't got no money, but they spend every day at the gym, an hour, 2 hours at the gym? Lots. But at some point in that line of what you're trying to judge as a measure of success, they got to show some other results. At 35, having a great body and you ain't got nowhere to live and you ain't got no car and you got all this stuff going wrong, good, you got your health, because you're going to need it for the next 20 years to work your arms to death because you ain't got nothing to show for your life. And people get really upset when you tell somebody they're behind. I think Kevin Samuel said that earlier today. I don't know, where people are behind, but they get really offended if you tell them that. There's a reason I go do all these events and these conferences and these meetups and talking about partnering with people and getting ahead and us partnering together and get more, because we live in a society where people are very prideful to be like, I did all this by myself. I don't want to walk around doing that. I try to work myself to death by saying I did it all by myself. No. I would much rather partner with people and get more done. That's why I talk about super teams. That's why I talk about partnering. I'd rather have 20% of something than 100% of nothing. It cracks me up every day when I see it. The only thing's evident out here in America is if you come here and you make some investments, you can have a different life. Now, there's a person I'm trying hard to get him on to come on the channel. It's like 10 or plus or more Shopify sites, and I've actually gone to each and every one of them. And some are pro-Trump, some are anti-Trump, some are old Obama stuff. I'm like, who's still buying Obama stuff? Somebody is. And just different sites he's worked on that he runs Instagram ads on, Facebook ads on, makes killer bank. And what people don't understand is there's a million ways to make money. Don't get caught up on one. Same thing with the trucks. Yeah, their only goal is to travel. Travel. Okay, and then what? Travel. You're like, all right, cool. Like, and you keep moving. But when you talk to people, you're going to have to build something. You're going to have to build something, invest in something. A lot of people are like, man, I want to get a truck. Like, you got a truck, Erica. Yeah, it's truck money. And then you go to do what with? Get more money. Okay, well then do what with? There's never a long-term plan. It's just because it's the hot thing. You don't have to do something because it's the hot thing. At the end of the day, real estate will still always be, whether y'all want to hear that or not, it will always be this record of truth for this country. It just will be. It just will be nonstop. Now, when that girl talked about paying off $300,000 in student loan debt, and when people heard the part about her getting the townhouse, I think that's what upset people. And then if they would have just read the article, it said her mom got the townhouse off of auction for $6,000. So many people were like, well, people's parents don't have $6,000. If your parents don't have $6,000, whose fault is that? That's not our fault. They in their 50s. They don't have $6,000. It's not their fault. Even when the young man in the article talking about him working 3 jobs, people were like, oh, he gonna be dead. He's got 3 rentals. They didn't even read in the article where the man has 3 rentals. And his mother is managing one of the rentals. Like, they didn't even read that part. You know what I mean? They're missing. Real estate will always be this big arm of financial stability and an engine, economic engine. And at the end of the day, it's just like people really missing the whole. They're missing the whole enchilada. Like they're talking about credit cards for travel. They're talking about credit cards because they don't want to. They just don't want their own money to do anything, and they're missing it. They're completely missing all the points of why you're not just getting the credit cards to take the money off, but to actually build something, to actually build a future. Only in America do we have this leverage pusher called a credit card, and not charge credit like you do for businesses overseas, but like actual credit card. Okay, if you've been screwed over, all right, next time you just do better due diligence. That's all there's. I mean, like, at the end of the day, if someone screwed you over, that happens every day in everything. That happens in relationships. That happens in boyfriend-girlfriend situations, husband-wives. You move on to the next, right? And if partnership is so detrimental to your soul, like you just, I can't trust another person, then you need to just worry about, honestly, all you need to be doing is absolutely fixing your own personal credit. And if you're in a Facebook group, I've been posting a bunch of stuff this week. Basically, fix your personal credit and getting lines of credit or business lines of credit or personal lines of credit, and then invest by yourself. I mean, that's really your 2 choices here. And that's not even knocking you. That's just being really honest, where people have ask that question a million ways. Like, well, what happened if this? It's like, okay, then you have to be the person that fixes your personal credit, get your business rolling, get your business credit, and use that money for smaller investments. You know, the whole point of me writing Smartphone Millionaire book and Ladder Income was showing you that for some of you, let's say you never make a lot of money and you don't like the idea of a bunch of credit. So then you're going to have to take the slower route. You're going to have to take the 5 to 10 year route, which is still fine. You'll still get there. But it's going to be you taking money out of every paycheck and putting it into little investments until you get where? 10 years down the road where they're like a big pile of investments. That's the difference. That's really the truth. There's a thing called Smartphone Millionaire. No, it's called Millionaire Mindset. And it's where T. Harv Eckert, I'm killing the guy's name. He is doing a live show. You can get that one off Audible. It's really good. And it's like a live show, and he's like talking about a warrior or a warrior. And you can't be both at the same time. Your body can't deal with that energy at the same time. So you have to pick one or the other. You know, another great book is Grant Cardone's Sell or Be Sold. Every day you get up and sell yourself on what? Now, just like the way these and all this other stuff, they've got up every morning and convinced themselves what? I'll never get out of my student loan debt. I've even seen articles where people say, I'll die with my student loan debt. But they're sitting around driving a brand new car, living in a great place, eating out all the time. They've chose that. They've chose to die with that. Because what they're doing is every day they're getting up and selling themselves on something that's sad, honestly. But every day you get up and say, well, you know what? I'm going to get up. I'm going to wash my face, brush my teeth, put deodorant on. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to make sure my kids get on the school bus. I'm going to do all these things. Why are you doing them? Because you got up in this morning and you sold yourself on doing them. You know when people get up every morning and sell themselves on just coming out of the bed and going straight to Walmart in their bedtime clothes? People do that too. And expect the most, right? As a kid growing up, you saw your dad get served, food brought to him, you know, some do outside activities, but conditioned in the home that this person is to be served. Even in life, when we go out in our society, schools, colleges, people are conditioned that they can do the least and get the most back. That's just not true. We've conditioned Americans to really think they can sit back and fight. No. You're conditioning people to believe that, right? And this is why it's so important when I tell people about moving away from their family or moving to another town or getting away. What ends up happening is people do a horrible job of taking on the label. You know, I remember talking to this guy, and his family called him Little J or something like that. Little J, come here, Little J. And if he sees this, then he can get mad at me. But they called him Little J, and Little J was because he used to be the runt of the family. This guy was 6'1", y'all. His whole family's like 5'9", and they were still running around calling him Little J. And he would do things that were, to me, in my opinion, as his girlfriend at the time, were immature, over the top immature. But when he wasn't near his family, he was a very mature, very knowledgeable, very educated guy. And I said, you know what it is? He was taking on that mind of Little J that was comical. He was Little J. And in my mind, this is part of why you have to move away from family. You have to move away out of those situations, because they would always see him that way. I saw him as this amazingly brilliant guy. Outside his family was amazing. But when I got around his family, I was like, oh, I couldn't live like this. Oh, I can't live with you always wanting to be Little J and be the comedy show. I couldn't live like that. So you have to be careful of what somebody is selling to you and what you're selling to yourself. You have to sell yourself on who you are and the value of who you are. Because if not, people can sell you on anything. That you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough. I've seen girls think they're not pretty because they came out of a family of very attractive women. I saw this girl and she was gorgeous. I mean, like, men were always like, hey, like, people were always breaking the door to come help her and do stuff for her. But because her mom was a beauty pageant in the 1960s, beautiful. But in the eyes of her family, her mom of herself. And I'm thinking to myself, every day you go out, don't you see all these men about to break their legs to come talk to you? Don't you see all these men at these bars trying to talk to you? Don't you see all these men going out of their way to say, hey, how you doing today? Like, and you would think the outside reinforcement of that would help her, but it didn't. Who you are, how you're doing things, or how your life is, because you'll find things to reinforce the negative. That you'll always be this way, or you'll always live this way. You'll find things. You'll do things to self-sabotage. And there was a cousin Nita posted it on Instagram earlier, where psychology says kids sometimes grow up with traits that would have rescued their parents. Let me say that again. Psychologists are saying kids are starting to grow up and inhabit traits that would have rescued their parents. Kids will grow up with traits that would have rescued their parents. Now, what does that mean? They grow up with these traits that would have helped their parents in the times of need, right? So I right now, I can prime example. My mom, military, between my father and her divorce and my stepfather getting married, my brother cleaned the house all the time. He was just cleaning. And it would drive us crazy as little girls. We'd be outside running around playing, and he'd be like, pick all this stuff up. We got to clean up for mom. And kids pick that up. To this day, my brother is essentially very, very, very clean. Very clean guy. Does not play that. You will not have dirt in his house. Very clean. Same thing with just different traits. You can see it in people's families where one sibling had to be extra helpful, or this girl I know, there's a big gap between her and her siblings, almost like 10 years. So she's very motherly, even though she's a young woman. She acts like somebody's mother all the time, because that's how she grew up. And so a lot of times what happens is people are selling themselves on a particular way they're living, and they shouldn't, unfortunately, but they are, because they've been sold a bill of goods. They've been sold this. They've been marketed this. So same thing when it comes to, and I say all this to kind of wrap it up. I know it's a little long, but I say this to wrap it up, that what are you selling yourself daily? Are you selling yourself that you won't be able to get out of student loan debt? Are you selling yourself on that your spouse will never get your cool business ideal? Are you selling yourself on it always have to be this way? It really doesn't have to. The choice is truly yours. They would rescue their parents, yeah. So the thing of it is like, what are you selling yourself on? And when you keep saying it's evident that this happened, what part of you is saying that it's evident that this person is a winner more than you? Now, I was saying this on Instagram, and I didn't want to like offend people, but people always say, well, everybody's born equal, everybody, or everyone's equal. No, 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 no. If you think you're equal to Bill Gates right now, we have a problem. Okay? If you think you're equal to Warren Buffett right now, we got a problem. Because you're not doing proper assessment. Were we all born equal? Should we be equal under the eyes of the law? Yes, true. But if somebody's going to spend 2 to 3, 4, 5 hours a day educating themselves, bettering themselves, taking action, and getting winnings and results and fruits, as a tree, fruit from that, you cannot say y'all in the same boat. You're not in the same boat. If I am standing beside a woman who goes to the gym 2-3 hours a day, and I'm like, I'm just as good as her. No, 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 no. We're all born equal, but we ain't equal. Old girl's put in more houses than me. She can have that award. She won it. You dig? Like, there's just some things people have to acknowledge. And I remember this guy was saying, he was talking about men in their 40s are so much better. And I'm like, if you put a man who's 25 out here with money in the middle of the field and a 40-year-old man with money, the women are going to go to the 25-year-old men. If the women are 25, other things being equal. That's just how it is. We're trying to say we're equal to somebody else in a different place in life. And that's just crazy talk. That's just crazy. If the women are 25 and they see a 25-year-old buff, virile, muscular, in shape, wealthy man, they're going to go, no, not you, dude. I want that older, strong, not as virile, 40-year-old man because he's got wisdom. No, he wouldn't. They don't. Have you ever seen 25-year-old people? 25-year-old people think 30's old. 29-year-old people think 35 is an eternity away, right? People in their 30s think 40 is ancient. So when people tell me these theories that we're all equal, it's absolutely insane. It's insane. Dad bod, exactly. It's insane. It's literally, what crack are you smoking? Everyone to tell me, are you smoking crack? That's the only way you could have came to this conclusion. It's crack. They're smoking crack. So live your best, whatever. If you're 40, live your best 40-year-old life. But let's be honest, you're not equal to that. No. Stop playing with yourself. That's ridiculous. Don't play yourself that way. That's a terrible way to live. Live your best life where you are right now. Sell or be sold, but don't sell yourself on some crazy now. You know what I mean? People love saying how, like, well, Colonel Sanders and all these people lived like, he was 40, so he was 60 years old when he started chicken. He was 56, somebody was in their 50s. Yes, in the book of Illusions of Entrepreneurship, the number one person who starts to be the number one age is 44 to 48 years old. It's a married man, and he usually starts a low-tech business. He has a married wife, and she usually works. That's the average, person that fills out their taxes kind of thing that starts a business. Why? Life experience. They have some knowledge to themselves. They're not some young whippersnapper. They can go out and show they have, skills to back up what they're saying. 9 times out of 10. But what does the 25-year-old person, exactly, Sanders was hustling for 40 years. What does the 25-year-old person have that person doesn't have? Youth, energy, unlimited time. They don't have no kids. Like, they've got a whole different set of energy and a set of mind, right? And so sometimes you'll see companies, prime example, Facebook, where you got this young 25-year-old kid who developed Facebook. I did say whippersnapper. I love that. I love that word. It cracks me up every time I hear old people say it. 25-year-old kid, but all the CEOs are what? 50s, 60s. Why? Because they can see a little something that he can't see. But they don't have that engine, that young mind that's whipping and turning and thinking of new creative things. A lot of stuff you guys seeing haven't been created in the past 15 years. Snapchat, Uber, Instacart, all this stuff you're seeing, this is a young person came up with it because they needed a break. Sometimes wisdom comes with age and sometimes it doesn't, unfortunately. Some people actually are like 50-year-old men who are still acting 25, or 60-year-old men still acting 25. It don't always come. It should come with wisdom, should come with age, but it doesn't always. But a lot of people do have experience. Now, they may not have their wisdom right, but they got some experience. And so 44 to 48 is when they start, those first-time business owners start. But also, what does a 20-something-year-old person have? Now, it's not just time on their side, but it's something about, I can start this, it can fail in a year or two, and I can start something else. right? That's right. A old fool was once a young fool. It's really, really true. And so what I want people to do is like, wisdom come with maturity. That's a better saying. That's a better phrase. You got to be able to get up and say, you can't just, blindly say, oh, it's evident that all these people winning had a leg up. No, give yourself that leg up, people. That leg up is you. There's something Todd Millie keep posting on the internet. If you don't come from a rich family must come from you. And all that means is like, you have to manifest what you're trying to see. Because ain't nobody coming to save you. So you better get to manifesting. Because you're the only one who could do it. So I know this was long. I know this was a little bit of ranty-ish. But I really love seeing you guys. When I come to these shows and I come to these different cities, usually the people in the room are go-getters. And if you can partner up, even better. Boom, boom, boom. Kick through it. Because that's it. That's the only way it's going to happen. It's either going to come from you or partnerships you're going to do. That's it. There's only two ways. Oh, thank you so much. Somebody gave me a $10 super chat. Thank you, Myra Rodriguez. Listen, hey, I'm really just documenting the journey. Like, that's why I keep telling y'all I'm just documenting the journey. So when I disappear for 3 or 4 or 5 months, y'all know I'm just on my own vacation. That's all. Like, literally, you have to have the number of what's a win for you. But I just like, all I can think of is I get a lot of emails where people say really positive, uplifting things. And I'm like, thank you. I get a ton of emails where people say something crazy. But at the end of the day, it's like, you can't say it's not possible. You see too many people out here doing it. Whatever you put your mind to is possible. Whatever you want to accomplish. There's somebody in the group, I think it was Michael, I can't remember. He was saying in a year, he's improved his credit. He's getting his real estate license. Started wholesaling. He done did all these things in the group. Everybody's like, congratulations, man, you're kicking butt. It's up to you. You can change your life in a year or 2 years. It just depends on how hard you want to push. And a lot of people think they're going to lose friends and family, but you gain so much more people as you're going down the road. You pick more people up than you lose them, right? And if your spouse, if they really, really love you, now some people are out here self-sabotaging. I've actually seen some people's spouses sabotage out of what they're doing, but I've seen some people's spouses realize real quick, this man will pick up and go somewhere else. Let me get on board. Yes, whatever you say, honey. Yes, I agree. That's right. But they're not going to do that if you half-stepping. A prime example, flipping a house in Houston said he was talking about real estate for 8 months. He couldn't afford some course and he was just whining about it, couldn't afford the course. And his wife said, if you don't do something in the next month, I don't ever, ever, ever want to hear about real estate again. Do you hear me? And you know what he did? Got up and started wholesaling, and a whole different life now. 6-figure wholesaler. I think probably, I don't know how big, but pretty close to that. Kicking butt out in Houston, Texas. And used to be a Logan Steakhouse server. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, people really like, it's what you can change your life. There's a guy who was a high school principal, 6-figure wholesaler out in Houston. Now he's got rentals, got other investments. There's a reason there's stuff I'm trying to add to the Smartphone Millionaire book, because I'm just trying to get you to see, like, don't get locked into one thing. And I see people like blowing me up about trucks. And I go, well, what are you doing? And they're not in a financial place. They credited in place. None of this stuff. It's just a dream. You're talking crazy. Go find an avenue that works for you where you're at with your money. There's a good point. Jealous or hold back spouse. Oh yeah, I've seen people do. I've seen a man who could be more, and his wife, she just does little things here and there. Oh, the kids are sick or something's happening, or I need you to be home. And it's been sabotaging that man's career for years. I've seen it. And it's like, what do? You love that person so much. You know it's happening. I mean, there's no way this man doesn't know it's happening to him. He's a very smart man. But that's just how people are. They've tied their life to that person. So all they can do is hope that person gets better or leave. That's it. So sometimes there's a saying old people say, sometimes a man and woman have an understanding that no one understands. And that's the truth. Like, you see two people together, you don't know why they're together. But she just has an understanding that nobody else understands. So that just is what it is. So be careful who you choose. But yeah, definitely choose wisely, okay? But I'm almost to the dealership at this point. I'll do some clips on Instagram, or I'll put something here, a picture up, some more truck stuff. But you guys, I cannot express in words, but it will probably be a book as soon as we're done with the editing. How much my life's changed, and just from thought, focus, and putting one step foot in front of another. And 5 years later, here comes my family supporting it. Like, here's some money, we want to be in, hey. After you've been doing stuff for years, it might take years, even at this level. What do you do about family always needing money? Honey, you need to grow a backbone to say no, or make more money. This is the only two things. The people love this question, and I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but this is the only two answers. If you know you won't say no, you need more money, or you need to figure out how to say no. And no is a complete sentence by itself. No, N-O. It's a complete sentence all by itself. I assure you. You gotta have a way that when you say no, it's just a no. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to jump through hoops. It's a no. N-O. And if you know yourself enough that you will never be that person that will say no, and I mean this in all honesty, if you have, you need to make more money. That's it. That's your only two choices. I mean, I know couples right now who are, the husband and wife both make 112 or 120,000 a year, and they stay giving money to their family, and they're not stressed about it, because you know what they did? They spent 2 or 3 years buying rental properties and told no one. They told no one about the rentals. They just bought them quietly. So when their family asks for money, they go, well, all I got on my paycheck coming next week is like $5,000. I can only give you this much. And the family just assumes they're basing the money off of what they make at work. So if you already know yourself, you know yourself enough, you either need to move, you need to say no, or you need to go make more money. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean, make more money? That means you need to go figure out how to go buy some real estate. Don't tell nobody. Go buy some stuff. Don't tell nobody. Go buy a store. Go start something. Nope. East Coast meetup. I really don't have any East Coast meetups planned other than this Atlanta mastermind. I think Charlotte's next year. I really do, because you guys think I'm joking, but I am planning a sabbatical. I'm hiring somebody. I've hired several people right now. There's a whole staff making this run, and I'll have to be back down in Houston sometime soon to show y'all more of the properties. But like, yeah, I'm gonna take a little three month break. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm going. But that's your choices for that, and then you have to decide too. What, when it comes to family, they always need money. Do they? You're gonna have to start insulting people. Now, what do I mean insulting people? Handing out books. You know what I did one time? I gave out Dave Ramsey's Money Makeover to everybody for Christmas. Even though I wanted 2 family members to get it, I gave it to everybody. Just to be an ass. Just gave it to everybody. I gave about 20 copies and gave them to everybody. There you go. Merry Christmas. Now, when that person came back to me, I said, well, did you read that book? Have you been working on that? That's all. You should come to the wire then. Man, Baltimore, I don't think I have any Baltimore lined up in my schedule. I think Charm City Buyers does something on October 19th. They're mobilized Baltimore, but that's her meetup. Come to Phoenix soon. The weather's starting to cool down. I'm telling y'all, need to cool that down a whole 35 degrees. Oh my God, congratulations. December Ohio meetup. Hell no. Now I am going to Ohio, but I think November while the leaves are turning. Because I was like, Cousin Nita, where the leaves turn at? The Atlanta event is September 28th and 29th. It's been in the links. It ain't cheap, but it's a serious 2-day mastermind. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Cornelius Edwards. I quit celebrating Christmas. For a long time, you guys know this on the channel, my father died on Christmas Day in the Philippines. And so for a long time, we didn't celebrate Christmas either. But now we're back to celebrating it. My father died when I was a senior in college. But yeah, you cannot find... the credit consulting business. Can someone please post? You know what I'll do? I'll probably post it in the community post because it's on a separate website. It's not with the rest of the courses on that one site, and that's probably why you're having a hard time finding it. But that's mostly what I have for today, though. Sell or be sold. Nothing's evident. You know, only way you guys are going to get better long term is partnerships, super teams. You should be working with someone in your career field. I don't even know if y'all saw that. No, the community tab is here on YouTube. The Facebook group is a paid Facebook group. You ain't gonna be in that one. The community tab here is just on YouTube. You'll see it. It'll pop up. But it'll also be in the description after this renders. I'll put it in the description. Literally, somebody in the group said they started going to Eventbrite because I kept saying, go to Eventbrite. You want to fill up your calendar, go to Eventbrite. They went to Eventbrite. They started going to events. They went to a funding and capital event, and they were like, oh my God, everything Erica said was true. And I was like, thank you. Like, I ain't got no reason to lie. So they went to Eventbrite is number one place I can recommend. Toastmasters, if you want to get over your fears, public speaking, all kind of things y'all guys can do to create environment and community in your city, create other business partners you can work with in your city. But it's got to come from you. Outside of Philly, Rashana and Asia speaking, I think they are. Going to a financial seminar next week. Congratulations. Camden, New Jersey. What's up, Camden, New Jersey? When do I anticipate your next mastermind after Atlanta? I don't have any big masterminds. I just have a workshop for Denver, October 5th. I have a workshop for Dallas, October 12th. The first part of the workshop is going to be Terry, scaling your portfolio, and I'm going to be the second part, scaling your business. Then I'm going to do LA and Oakland in November. And then right after that, we'll try to squeeze Cleveland in, right? Like boom, 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 boom. Like try to squeeze it in so we can see the fall leaves before the crazy snow comes. Which I would hope November is when they said Cleveland. They said Cleveland have the leaves, but that's when we'll try to squeeze Cleveland in. What's the other one? We're supposed to be doing Las Vegas. Yeah, that's what it is. So we're looking over the calendar tickets right now, but we'll figure it out. When are you launching a high ticket mastermind with Zoom meetings? None. This is my thing about masterminds. The whole point of a mastermind is for you to be there in person. You cannot beat an in-person experience of questions you might have, questions you might ask. Who else is in the room? A lot of these online summits, I get it. I get the ideal of online summits, but you really just cannot beat a in-person meeting where you are interacting in person. Well, congratulations. Listen, just get on there and look for some events in Albany. There's going to be some. Listen, Art, you got to do what you got to do. When it comes to kids, you want to be with them every day, but, can you help them by bringing in some extra income? People hate when I say that. Or like this one lady said, well, people deserve to spend time with their kids. Your kids don't want to see you at home stressed out and broke. Trust me, your kids feel and sense that shit from you. When you're all stressed out and people feel that. Nobody wants to feel that. Kids don't want to feel that. And sadly, I have a friend who said he can't even remember his father being home with them under 8 years old, because that's how hard he was freaking working. Dad was never home, but do you when I tell people, your dad was never home, but did you get time with them later? Can you make up time? There's just so many questions to that. This is so slow. We were driving so slow, y'all. If y'all saw how slow this car is going. And down this 2-lane road, I'm like, it's Friday. So slow. We're going so slow. And I only need to go like 5 more miles. Y'all might actually be able to get to see the truck at this rate, slow as we're going down this road. Congratulations. Listen, the thing of it is what people understand is, if you get it, I watch Chip and Joanna Gaines, and people go, why would she wait so late in life to have her 5th kid? I was like, because they're different people now. They've made so much money. They have so much time freedom that extra kid, it's a blessing. It's not a sad thing. It's a blessing, because they have more money and more time, and they're more famous. They have all this staff. You know what? That might be a t-shirt I'm coming up with soon. It might be. Give me a second. We're working with some people. They're showing me a thing or two about a thing or two. Yeah, Well, there's this little chart, I forgot what you call it. But one circle is time freedom. One is like location freedom and money freedom. And then when they cross over, that's the win, right? That's kind of the win. Is like when they cross each other. Like when you have a little bit of both, a little bit of all three, that's when you're really winning. Because a lot of people, they got money at a job, but they can't leave that job or they won't. There goes that, right? A lot of people end up having a lot of time freedom when they quit their job, or they, or when they're young, when they're 20s, but they don't have a lot of money or other stuff. It's like a moving Venn diagram. It's like you need all the parts to make it worth it. Yep, golden handcuffs. They talk about that a lot. I'm always team Android. You guys were almost there. You might actually be able to see the truck. The traffic's opened up. Thank you, Jesus. But yeah, inside the Facebook group, we'll be planning some more stuff, talking about some more stuff. And again, whenever it comes in these courses and stuff, be nice to my staff. Some of them are answering my emails, and y'all be haughty with them. I just paid for this thing 10 minutes ago, blah, blah, blah. Like, yo, if you don't chill out 24 to 25 hours. Oh, I don't test drive the trucks. I do not. There is a third-party company that comes and does inspections on the trucks, depending on where you're located, to get a third-party inspection, all the better. And also, you notice the dealership will adjust how they talk to you because they realize you're not playing with them. And then they have to act accordingly. So that's what you see me a lot of times doing. For me, mostly I just look through and check and make sure nothing is obviously wrong or standing out that is wrong. No, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Yay, we're almost here. Thank the Lord. You guys will get to see this. The show's going on an hour at this point, but I guess since you guys been in the car riding this long, you might as well just see the truck as soon as it pull up. But the key of it is, you don't want to get locked in. I did a video talking about labels and being locked in. It all goes into that same thing about sell or be sold, or your mindset, or somebody trying to convince you who you are. Like, people are like, oh, trucks, don't you want to just buy more and more trucks? No, I don't have. What do I want to have 100 trucks for? That's stupid. No, this money, it's just, you're using this money. It's just a tool, and money's just a tool. And you take this money and then you put it over here, or you put it into something else, or you put it in real estate, or you make it do various things. But some people get so caught up on like this way we talk about travel. People get so addicted to, like, I want to travel, I want to go somewhere. They get so wanderlust hungry, that they miss out the whole point of, like, relax, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the difference, enjoy what it does for you. The trucks is just a truck. You know what I mean? It's just a tool. It's like me, if I buy a hammer every week, it's just me buying a hammer, and then I'm sending it to this company for them to appropriately use the hammer and get paid. That's it. Okay, we're almost there, you guys. Hopefully I'm parked We love your 2-hour show. Sorry. I mean, listen, I don't mean to make the show so long because I know the average person watches like 10 minutes or 14 minutes and then they turn. But for the people that do stay, thank you for staying. All right. We're about to pull on up, y'all. Hold on. They are building this bridge fast. I would not want to drive on this thing. Oh my goodness. They better figure that out. Watch. Oh, you want to see? Want to see what I'm seeing? This, you can't see the bridge. We've already passed it. Okay. So this is a terrible 4-way that needs a traffic light. But what happened is they are tearing up this bridge, so you can't put a light here. Let's see where they parked my baby. I hope they parked it somewhere reasonable and not stupid. Don't come out here like that now. These dummies out here. Oh, Lord, they got a bunch of them. Which one's mine? All right, so do you guys see the purple right there? I think that's me. I'm going to ask them. That'd be great if it was. Hold on. Bobby and them are coming in. I think that one's me. Not certain. I'm going to go inside and check. But if not, I'm one of these purples, but these purples look way bigger than mine. This can't be my purple. That first one's got to be my purple. That one's too big. Plus, that one's got a damage on the front. Let me go in here and see what Bobby and them are talking about. All right, you guys. Let's squeeze between these trucks here. Yeah, I'm very strategic with the colors. Colors mean a lot of things. So, hold on a second. Listen, if you guys want to see the glove compartment box, what's in there? So pew 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 and my camera. 2 things I care about. That's it. Always the heat, people. Let's see here. But I need to put this up though. Hold on. I want to listen. I got some ideals for t-shirts and stuff coming soon. Don't worry. I got a kid working on it. All right, let me see if Bobby can tell me which one is mine. Listen, you guys, you want to call this store? Can. Hey, Bobby.
What's up?
Everybody, this is Bobby. Makes all the sales. Bobby, I'm trying to figure out which purple one did they drop off for me.
Hey, trying to figure that out.
Mm-hmm. There's so many purples. There's 140 people watching. Hey, everybody, this is Bobby. He's been here 22 years. If you're looking for Bobby Robinson, come on down to San Antonio. This is where you find him. No, I don't think Bobby can run your credit. I think you have to go through.
Come on.
Greg is like, they sent your truck down here. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Bobby had to get it ready for you. It was down here.
Hey, you guys, yeah. Did you? Just get my hopes up.
Should be that last maroon right there.
Okay. Okay, he's gonna get the key. All right, you guys, so my guess was close. It's the last one. Now, this truck is a special because it's in a special partnership. It's one of my last partnerships. Somebody in my groups, Cantu Ventures, did they see it? No, teams are just teams. Teams are two guys in a truck. That's all teams are, you guys. Nothing special. All right. Oh, damn it, super singles again. These things, when they blow up, you guys, they blow the hell up. Like, they blow up and tear up all this mud flap, all this stuff. So, anyway, let me get off here. Tell Bobby you need a truck. Hey, man. Don't we all? All right, you guys. I'm going to wrap this up. All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the ride along.